Hey,
Hello.
Hiya.
Hi.
Hi.
can you hear us all right?
Yes, we can hear you. We cannot see you though.
Let me see if I can fix that. Uh,
Oh, hi. How are you
Hey.
guys doing?
Good.
Good, yeah.
How is this lockdown going with you guys?
It's been a bumpy road. We actually moved house in the middle of lockdown, which was kind of stressful. But now we're set up here. It's like we can just make music and don't have to leave the house, which is kind of nice.
So we are two students in the Netherlands and we're studying communication and media, and we're basically starting up this student magazine, and it's alternative arts and culture. So my name is Myra. Lisa will also introduce herself.
Well, I'm Lisa, and I'm also studying communication and media in the Netherlands. And basically, we started this magazine about arts and culture, and all that kind of jazz. And within the magazine, Myra and I are also taking part in the music section. So the first issue is all about artists or entrepreneurs. So that's why we also wanted to interview a band. So we're so glad that you guys can join this meeting today.
Oh, cool. How did you guys hear the band? How did you come across the band?
Apple Music.
Oh, okay.
For you, I was like, oh my god, this is really curated well for me. So I want to know, first of all, what is your origin story? How did Night Tapes happen?
Well, we were all living together in this house. I guess Richie and Max grew up together, and then I met Max at uni. We went to Goldsmiths. And yeah, we all have our own projects. Max is in another band called Another Sky as well. And yeah, Richie's doing his own productions, and I'm doing my own productions and stuff. And we just started jamming out for fun, because I guess our own projects were quite well. Yeah, there's always the kind of you work hard on something, and then music can get quite stressful. And then we just started jamming out for fun, and it was the most relaxed thing, and it was really, really lovely, and that's how Night Tapes started. Hey, Richie.
Hey guys, sorry about that. How's it going?
We're doing well. How are you doing?
Yeah, no, not too bad. Just trying to cook and get stuff ready in time so I can come do this and then keep cooking. It's juggling a lot of plates, or trying to. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay, perfect. We were just finding out the origin story of Night Tapes. That was the only part we were starting in. Do you want to add something to that, baby?
At the end of it, but yeah, it was sort of one of those inevitable things, really. If you're you've got a load of musicians sharing a house, eventually things sort of collide quite naturally, especially because we'd all done stuff together in the past. And I think even by the point Night Tape started, I was playing with Iris, so we were going off and playing stuff, and generally if we were trying to practice for one of Iris's performances, it would end up accidentally recording more Night Tape stuff, so bound to happen eventually.
Lisa, maybe you can ask about the name as well.
Yes, because Night Tapes, did you randomly pick a name, or is there a special meaning or story behind the name?
The name really came quite easily because we would write music at night and we would record it to tape.
Oh, okay.
Very literal kind of name. And then we kind of thought that just really encapsulates the vibe of the music as well. It's very nighttime listening, and it's kind of grainy. So the name just stuck, and it was really easy. And I've been in other bands where you've been scratching your head for a year trying to come up with a name. And this one was just really easy, really fast. So yeah, we just took it and ran with it.
Yeah, I didn't question it ever. It's cool, that's fine. We never
Yeah.
have to figure that again.
Well, that's so cool, because it felt right immediately, as I just assumed.
Speaking of the type of vibes that the EP and even your entire discography gives off, it's very shoegazy, dream pop, kind of calls back to slow dive, and that's what really attracted me to it. So I just want to know, is there certain inspiration, or maybe a certain aesthetic that you were thinking of?
I think we write from a feeling of we definitely know what color we're creating. The first EP was kind of orange. So I don't know if you've seen the press shots from the first EP, but and also the cover art is kind of this orange. It's a really specific color, and we sometimes do talk about what color the EP is. And the second EP was a lot more kind of purple and a bit darker. So I think rather than a musical inspiration, it's usually vibe that we all kind of get on, and from that the music kind of comes secondary to that.
I think we tried to like avoid explicitly going into it, kind of thinking, all right, this is because I mean we love Slowdive, and like their last album they put out, we kind of were playing a lot, probably at the time, so that just sort of seeps in there. But there's no point you kind of think, all right, let's go and recreate Slowdive, because we're not ever going to do it as well as them. It's kind of, I think, the extra musical stuff, if we can try and nail that and try and capture the feeling of the time or the colours or kind of things we're reading, then everything else comes with it as much as we can anyway.
Yeah, and I just think it was really impressive that you created, I think you created the Download Spirit EP like during lockdown. That's really, really impressive. Like, can you tell us a little bit about like the creative process behind that? I feel like it fits lockdown because it feels like it's ethereal. I don't know, like otherworldly.
Well, we were gonna go out of London because we're gonna be sensible and go out of London, and then just right before the lockdown started, we were like, what are we doing? We have a house. Let's just like lock down in a house and like make some music happen. So we all like the night before lockdown, we saw the Prime Minister give a speech, and then 10 minutes later, like we called Richie up and was like, let's go back to London and do this. And then I guess we started writing like the next day. Or how do you guys remember
it? Kids was right, like literally in those days where it was all kind of, where everything accelerated all at once from kind of thing. It was like this sort of news story which was happening around the world but didn't have a direct impact yet. And then I think in the days we were writing Fever Dream Kids, it suddenly become like, oh my God, this is real. Like this is going to be our life now for like a year or the foreseeable future. But it came out of that weird, excitement's like kind of sounds like too positive a word, but there was this kind of, when that stuff was unprecedented, that definitely triggered something, and it came really naturally because normally you don't write in that kind of condition where the world's changing around you. So it was literally probably took about 6 hours for that song in total, like the kind of day of lockdown, and by the end of that day the song was pretty much done. Pretty quick.
Yeah, actually that's like I think my favorite song from the Download Spirit EP. I think the first one I listened to was In Polyamber. And there's like, I don't know, there's something about it, like I don't know, just it's very like, I think it's just reverb. I love reverb on any album, like
yeah, we did
reverb.
So yeah, I want to ask, like, since Forever, which is like your single in 2019, how do you feel like you have grown throughout that like 1.5 years, since we're in 2021 now, which is very scary?
You mean musically or just in general?
Musically.
I think we're all listening to different, obviously our tastes have changed since that time a little bit. I don't know, in our process what's changed. I think we kind of do it the same way. Like the grounding is the same.
Yeah, I think the new stuff is sounding quite different, but
it sounds different, but we approach it the same way we approached the first EP, I think.
Well, I'm really excited to see what you have next. But I think this is really interesting, and Lisa is also like a huge like concert fan. Like she loves live concerts. Have you like gotten the opportunity to like play live yet?
So we were asked to do a live stream pretty soon after lockdown, and it was a complete and utter disaster because we've got like the slowest internet in the country.
Literally, we were in an internet hole. We looked at the map. And, like,
you look at the map and it's like everything's fine. You zoom in on where we live and it's like red. It's just like there's no.
Oh no.
It's kind of amazing. Anyway, we had to do this gig, and it was just really, really hard. So I can't wait till we can actually play to real people and not have an internet connection buffering in between us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited too.
Planning on doing another live session, or was that just a complete disaster and you guys just don't want to do that again? And are you guys just waiting till live concerts are happening, or are you just planning for doing another live stream when the internet's better, I guess?
Yeah, that's the crucial thing. I think if we pre-recorded it, it would be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like everyone's learned the lesson of live streams a little bit. At first, everyone was, all the bands were being told you had to do the live stream, it has to be live. And then everyone realized what kind of a disaster that was, and you don't really get asked to do live streams anymore, but you can, a lot of people are like submitting recorded sets and then they'll just toast it, which I think we could do. But yeah, as soon as we can, we just want to get out and play as a band.
Yes, like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of difficult things to like play because the texture is so important. So especially over a live stream, for the music to really translate, you need to be able to hear it in kind of such high quality. But even like in a live scenario, being able to kind of the three of us create that is really tricky. It's not, and all the songs kind of, although they might sound like there's a continuity to them, they all have like these kind of really big challenges to get them to translate. Like something like Dream, which is actually nearly like 6 minutes, works really well through headphones and kind of when you're on your own, but getting that to be engaging for that length of time is something which I think we're still trying to figure out, and that's really exciting. Just I think as we go through the process of developing it, we'll find out a lot more about like kind of what made those songs work to begin with.
I think you need to create a world for our music. It's so important that the atmosphere is right, and when people are listening on their phones, it's really hard to create an immersive experience. Like with our live stream that we did, we used projections and smoke machines, and we did as much as we could to create a vibe, but all said and done, people are still kind of watching it. You know, maybe they're eating their cereal with one hand and looking at the phone the other. You can't like hold their attention fully, you know? And that's, I really miss that about going to gigs, is you can get transported.
Yeah, I really miss gigs.
Where are you guys in Holland?
We're in Rotterdam right now.
Yeah, I've been to Rotterdam briefly.
Yeah.
Better than Amsterdam. Sorry, Amsterdam. You guys suck.
Yeah. It's like Amsterdam, but without all the tourists, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
Maybe you guys can like play here in the future. That would be really cool.
That would be awesome. I think we've been getting some radio play in the Netherlands.
Oh, that's really cool. Okay.
So hopefully we can get out there one day.
Yes. What song are you like most excited to play live? If there's a certain thing, like certain song.
I'm really excited to play Download Spirit live.
I was going to say that.
That's funny, yeah, I'd say that too. Even though it's not a single, it's just, I reckon it'd be pretty, enjoyable. You can sort of get lost in it. It's like the same loop over and over and over again.
Which artists do you guys like to listen to? Like generally?
Ooh.
It's a hard question.
I was listening to Nils Frams today.
I was listening to K-pop today.
What were you listening to, Richie?
Actually, weirdly, I was listening to Nils Fram yesterday, and then like Oliver Arnold's. I think it's like I want to be relaxed.
Yeah. Hiroshi Yoshimura. Been listening to him a lot. Some Japanese ambient music, really beautiful. Yeah, I think in lockdown I've gone more ambient.
Yeah. Adrian Lenker's album's really amazing.
And like, do you guys have like a memorable live performance that you saw that like you felt like just changed your life?
I saw Fortet at Village Underground a few years ago, and it was, I don't know if you saw his live show, but he had an installation and he had lights hanging down over the crowd, like hundreds upon hundreds of lights, and they were all synchronized with him and his music, and he was set up in the middle of the crowd, and it was just like the most incredible immersive experience. Like the sound, all the speakers were surrounding the people, so it was like a ring of speakers, like completely 5.1 system. So the sound was kind of swinging around the back of your head, and then like it was incredibly disorientating in an awesome way. You know, when you go to gigs, you're so used to being stood all facing the same direction, and things don't generally come from behind the back of your head. But I think that's being neglected. As soon as we can, we'll be doing surround sound gigs.
That would be so cool, actually. It would really fit your music as well, I feel like. It would be really nice. So I just also want to ask, like, can you give us a hint about like future Night Tapes music? What are you guys working on, if that's possible?
We've got some real twists and turns coming up.
Oh,
actually.
yeah.
I think stylistically we're really exploring a lot of
different genres.
Yeah, I don't want to be too specific.
Yeah,
it's
don't
early,
want to give it away.
It's early days, but I think it's ambitious. The new music is way like it's throwing caution to the wind and just like going deep on some exploration.
I think it still comes from the same place though. It's what like I think whatever kind of that escapist or different vibes which we've had beforehand, they're all there. Like it's recognisable. It's just sort of dressed up in a slightly different way. But I'd say we've got there's a couple of songs which like we've kind of been sitting on for about a year, which we're very, very excited about. But it's kind of at this point it's sort of working out how you group them together and what you're going to do and what songs fit together and how you can kind of create like some continuity between the releases, because you don't want to go mental and move in one direction too fast. So it's we're figuring it out at the moment, but the songs are there, I think.
Yeah. We just want to like create even more vivid worlds and just really experiment more with texture and just make everything more Night Tapes. like concentrate it to a point, you know,
Mhm.
really delve into it. So yeah, really, there's a lot to be excited about.
I'm really excited to listen to whatever you guys are gonna put out. And I think that like to end the interview, I wanna like lastly ask like, where do you see Night Tapes in 5 years?
Well, hopefully gigging.
Yes, yes.
That's great.
Yeah, I hope that too. I literally like, if you guys come here, I'm going to buy a ticket. That is a decision.
Yeah, we
Very
see
fun.
ourselves in Rotterdam in 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great to do festivals. Like, oh my god, I would really love to do End of the Road festival.
Mhm.
I guess like we'd love to just take the visual side to the next level too. Like it'd be great to get a budget so we can be even more ambitious with our project.
I'm really excited to see that as well. And I think that's really cool. I really like your music. It's honestly like I'm really happy that, you know, and I'm really honored that you could reach out and we could have this interview over Zoom. And I really can't wait to see what is next. Thank you so much for undertaking this interview with us. And to everyone watching, please listen to the new EP, Download Spirit. It's from 2020, but it still feels new. But yes, please listen to Download Spirit. And I just want to say thank you again. Thank you from me and Lisa.
So much.
Thanks,
And we're
guys.
definitely
Thank you.
gonna.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.